All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. I just sat down. I've been having technical difficulties.
We always do.
That's because I'm a tech tard.
That's life.
So, we got the weekly wrap up. We got some breaking news. And I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it.
Let's say hi to a few people first. Let's kind of maybe.
Neil, thank you for being here, man. RCX.
Hi, Mr. Eddie.
Mr. Eddie, my friend from Texas. Charger Uncle Charger Mopar. He's an interesting fella. JB, Jamie.
Tony, yep.
Knee.
Knee, is that how you say it?
Who spells knee with a K? Really?
That is how you spell knee.
I know, I'm just joking.
Oh. Sorry, I got that one right over my head.
Okay.
All right. Jump in some stuff that's got going on.
Good evening, John Smith. I forgot to take the top off my water.
He's got this water that he's drinking, which you guys,
you like carbonated water?
It tastes hideous.
I've been craving a Coke, so I decided to. But lucky for you, you married a man that carries a knife in his pocket. And if you don't carry a knife in your pocket, you should carry lipstick. That's what I feel like.
So I carry lipstick.
This just happens to be a multi-tool. Anyway, get into the first story. So everything's changing.
Yeah, we got a couple things. So the big thing that we want to talk about tonight, and you guys jump in the comments and let's talk about it, what's going on. And after 2 years of debate, the City Council of Eugene, Oregon has voted on February the 6th. They are going to ban natural gas hookups in new residential constructions. They're becoming the state's first city to prohibit a new home from using gas furnaces, water heaters, or appliances. And they didn't even allow this to be a public vote. They went behind closed doors, and my mic's probably a little too close because I speak super loud. But they didn't even go behind. They just went behind closed doors. They didn't even give the citizens, what did he say? Yep. They didn't even give the citizens a chance to vote on this. They literally went behind closed doors, and they said, this is what we're going to agree. And I'd like to talk about this for a minute.
That's the main takeaway from, okay, so they're outlawing a gas hookup at your house at Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
And the biggest takeaway is they did not consult the people that lived there that were against.
They said 70%.
70% of the people that were against this. They didn't. They said, "No, we're not going to let you vote on it. You do as we say." Mm-hmm. That is the biggest problem. So what are they going to do next? Is my question. That's the big one. You know, are they going to outlaw the wheel? You know, I mean, these are simple items that we need to survive, you know, furnaces and cooking. Nothing cooks better than a gas stove.
Well, it's the fact that you're not given an option. And I do real estate, as you guys know. And I have some buyers that will not even consider.
Is this better?
Sorry if I speak too loud. It said if they will not consider subdivisions that do not have gas hookups. And we do have a few. We do have a few subdivisions that don't have gas hookups. Everything is electric. And that affects the prices. Our electrical grid is so fragile right now. And so if you take that off the table and you say, all right, no natural gas, one, it's going to make all the appliances way harder to get. Our electrical grid is so fragile. I mean, we had rolling blackouts this past winter because the electrical grid couldn't even handle it. And I don't know, I just think there's so many domino effects, and that's just one tiny I guess county that's doing it. They're supposed to come up with 36,000 new houses, and none of them are going to have natural gas. And it's just the fact that it's your rights being taken away.
Yeah, slowly eroding from you. And the problem, to think of it going on in the United States, you can't have a gas stove. It's like telling me you can't have, what else are going to say that we can't do behind closed doors? And I know it's Oregon, and they're so open-minded their brains fell out. But still, that stuff has a way of leaching. You know, that money that starts all that crap leaches into Texas. You know, it leaches, other places. It's like cancer. These left-wing people always mess it up.
It always starts somewhere first. And if you don't pay attention, and I think it's just one of those little things, if you don't stand up right now and say, okay, whoa, I am not okay with this, then it can come to your county, it can come to your city. Well, we already know that in California they're trying to ban gas. Was it gas burning stoves or wood
Wood-burning
burning
stoves.
stoves?
I think they already are banned. Actually.
They're banned at a certain level or whatever. And I know I've actually had appraisals contact me, inspectors contact me, and they said that they could not get houses to pass appraisals. The lender would not sign off until they removed certain stoves from the homes, either natural gas or wood burning stoves. And that's just, once again, you guys, this is just something. Who gives them the right to say how I cook my food? I'm just gonna say it. Who gives
We really
them,
like our gas stove, by the way.
I do.
Can I address this knot on my head?
Well,
I'm getting a lot of comments about it.
He wouldn't listen.
Stacey clubbed me like a baby seal.
He wouldn't listen, so I hit him.
All
See,
right.
it says wifey.
No, really?
And I hit him.
I woke up, I started having a knot on my head. It swelled up. My whole face swelled up. I looked like young Frankenstein for about 3 days. It was nutty. That's why I hadn't done a video in 2 days. The last video I did, it was starting to swell. I wore a toboggan, and it swelled down into my eye, and it is crazy.
It was scary.
So I took care of it myself. The doctor was really proud. They said, "You did a really good job." I do doctor on myself. I could care less to go to a physician, a practitioner. I consult the healer, if you know what I mean. So
Jesus.
yeah,
Absolutely.
They're just practitioners. They're drug dealers. They're pill chunkers, and I try to stay away. Sorry for anybody that's watching me that's a doctor. I've had a lot of bad run-ins with them, starting with her lupus. My elbow, they said they had to have surgery on. I never listened to them and never did any of that, and it went away. You know, they were sharpening their knife, literally. Going to cut me open, and it did not need to happen. I just let my body take care of itself. I let God heal me. That's it. And so I lanced to myself, took care of it, and now I'm on the mend. But my wife did make me go to the doctor because the swelling was going crazy. It was pretty nutty. So that's it.
Yes, it was. Let me tell you, this girl got a little bit scared, and I'm glad he's better. He's my person. I got to have him with me. I'm like, dude.
She's looking at me all funny like, what's wrong with your eye?
I was like, go get it checked out. Get an x-ray. But anyway, no, we're good. We're good. It was really crazy. It was like some stuff, just kind of pussy stuff just came out. I guess like an infection or something built up in there.
It was not an infection. There's no bacteria.
No bacteria? Nope.
No, I had it swabbed. Yep.
All right, well, we're good then.
Anyway.
So I knocked him on the head once or twice, and he's good now.
Yep.
But anyway.
I straightened up.
So back to this grids of where they're taking off the stoves and all this kind of different things. And I was looking at before. I was like, they're doing all these kind of bans. And I think we were talking about just one more thing. And we were talking about one more thing I want to hit on before we move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. So we did a video a couple days ago about Walmart closing stores. And I cannot disclose the source. Sorry, somebody called me and they said you cannot say who we are. But what we said is exactly true. Walmart will be closing stores, and they will be closing more than probably is anticipated. And we also heard that they're going to be locking up the clothes in a couple months. Isn't that what we heard? Yeah. They're going to be locking up. So instead of just going in and be able to pick clothes off the rack, I think they're going to be locking them behind.
So somebody that knows what's going on, that's way up high,
yep,
said everything we said was true,
right,
and it's about to get worse.
Yep.
That's exactly what she just said, but I hope I said it where everybody else could understand it.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people say, oh, this happens all the time. One guy said in the comments, I live in Chicago, and none of the Walmarts around me are closed down. So it must be garbage, you know. So this is actually happening. Look for more closures. You know, possibly into 2024, and it'll be in bad areas. It'll be in high crime areas, right?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight. So when we say this, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you go to your Walmart and it's closed down. It means it's in like 3 months, 4 months. That's what it means. It doesn't mean all of a sudden it just happens overnight. I think that's where people confuse when we say stuff that's going to happen. Maybe no. Right. That they come back and say. But anyway, yeah. So that, you guys, just so you know, that came from a very high up. They could not. I cannot say who it is. But anyway, so we were going back talking about the housing. We're talking about how it's
That's one of the many benefits of talk. She talks on the phone to the subscribers all the time, purchasing precious metals.
Yes.
And we get so much good information from the community. I mean, it is awesome. So she gets a lot of information. That's why I love it when she comes on, because, I mean, she'll be telling you guys stuff that I've heard for the first time. So this is all legit.
Well, you guys tell me stuff that I've heard for the first time.
And all you have is your word in the Thunderdome, too.
True, but I do try to get online, and I do try to, like, fact check it to make sure, you know, that it is legit. And you guys are so awesome. You actually send me articles where that I can look it up to make sure that it is legitimate, and I really, really appreciate that. But based on the fact that we were talking about how I think this is going to affect the housing market. So they were talking about this ban on the natural gas will affect the housing market. And I do think that, because now you're going to have houses that are in mid-construction, and let's just say just say this goes, because it's going global. This isn't the first place that's trying to do it. It even stated, they said, the supporters of the ban are just getting started. This is just the first step to a fossil-free. And so you think about all these homes right now and the domino effect. And we're like, okay, this is so great or whatever. We're going to be fossil-free. But the domino effect of something like this, when you start all the new builders, for example, that have houses so you're in a construction right now, and they say, well, you can't have natural gas there. You're going to have to completely revamp your home. Or you're going to, whenever you're looking at these contractors are looking at places to build, they're always looking 6 months into a year's out. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with home builders, but they buy a piece of property, because I've worked with them, and they buy a piece of property, and they're looking a year and 2 years out from that development. And now all of a sudden they're going to have to completely redo their developments and their plans and say, okay, no natural gas. That completely changes everything, pricing, everything. It changes appliances, so I cannot get a gas stove now. Everything's going to have to be electric. That means there's going to be shorter supply of electric. I just think it's a domino effect that people don't think about.
It doesn't make any sense. Where do you think we get electricity from? I know what you guys know what's up, but where do these other brain dead idiots think we get electricity from? It's from power plants.
Yep.
It's so crazy to me. Natural gas is so clean. This is really nutty. It can't be anything other than a power grab that's going to lead to more power grabs. That's going to push us into this ESG.
Yes.
I don't know what it's like, a cult. They've all been groomed by the WF, and you go ESG. Whoever worships the ESG god the most gets the closest to, I don't know, Dr. Evil, Klaus Schwab.
Well, you have credits. So if you're a builder and you have more carbon credits that are more eco-friendly or green-friendly, I suppose. I don't know, and that's speculating and getting out there. But unfortunately, the housing market, though,
I don't think that's much of a speculation. I think that's exactly the way it's going to go.
It may well be, and that's why we're talking
Agenda
about it.
2030. I mean, it's all, they've got it all wrote down. Go check out the WF. Go to their website and just get lost. Check it out, scroll around, and read all the crap and videos they have about exactly what we talk about all the time.
We do. Yeah, we go look at that stuff.
But
the housing market's actually been down. New permits are down. And I've actually had a lot of you guys call in, because as Chris said, I talked to a lot of you guys. And people are going, if you want to know, go to your local courthouse where you actually have to get permits. And it's really cool to see the permits that are pulled. And you can say, hey, how much has been pulled lately? And I've had so many people call me in certain areas. They're like, our permits are down, our permits are down. Now, this is not the same in every area. I know you're going to come out and you're going to say it's not the same in my area, and I get it. Every area is different. But it seems to be overall the permits are a little bit down. Would you not agree from what we're talking to people and what we're saying?
Permits are down and starts are down.
New starter homes are down. Well, the permits for new construction is about 1.8% down. That's a big decline.
But builders, on the other hand, they feel optimistic. I had a bunch of stuff that's on my phone that I'm talking to right now because my computer went down about it, but they were optimistic. They're not holding back. They're really trying to get going. That's how they make their living, so they don't want to quit. It reminds me of 2008. Build, go, break ground, and then, something else happens. Any kind of little something. Everything's held together just with duct tape, smoke and mirrors, and any little thing. The housing market's on the way down, especially when you start talking about unemployment. That's the whole thing holding this thing together, is the unemployment.
Well, you do, and you have higher interest rates. You have higher interest rates and different things like that coming down, and then you have whatever loan that you got. And I mean, there's so many factors that goes into it. It just depends on the loan that you got, if it's an ARM, if it's a but what's some of the good comments? Do we have any good comments? And then we'll go into the next one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, because this is kind of another different topic.
I'm just going to start with Charger. Here in Florida, gas is the only thing that works after a hurricane. That's gas, that is true. There's nothing like having gas on your property. You don't have to worry about a tree falling down on somebody's power line, down the road or whatever. I guess maybe that's part of it. You know, they want you to rely on their energy they can turn on and off. Probably is.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. They can control you if you have it's all electric. It's not.
Hey, they could say, hey, your carbon credit, your carbon footprint is too big. You've been driving too much. We looked at your social credit score, and you've been driving too much, and your vehicle uses too much fuel, and you want this much electricity? Turn him down. He's using too much carbon. He's burning up too much.
I didn't think about that.
That's exactly it.
Maybe another control factor. All right. That's a good point. I like that.
No,
See, I love getting in the comments.
Yeah, everybody in the comments is awesome. Everybody that's not in here, get in here and make some noise. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't know. We're trying to just figure out and muddle through this and try to figure out why they're doing the things that they're doing.
We moved from Tennessee. We moved to Tennessee from California a few years ago. Love it here. I bet you do.
Oh, wait. I think who are they?
John Smith.
Yes, I think I've talked to you guys on the phone. Yes.
That's a pretty common name.
No, but I think I know who they are.
We live next to nuclear, hydro, and coal plants. Very cheap electricity here in East Texas. Yep. Reliable, too. Let me get down the bottom. Beware of the smart meters. Oh, man.
Oh, that's another good point.
Yep, smart meters. That's right. That's exactly it.
Yep, it does. It does. So the next thing that we want to go to, and you guys tell us what you think about this. It seems like completely switching topics here, but malls are out. It seems to be, I don't know if you guys have noticed the last, well, there's a few places, and I've actually talked to a few of you guys, and malls are still popular in your areas, but for the generally speaking, I think malls are out. And they're shorting the malls. A lot of these investors are, but they're taking these malls and they're making them into 15-minute cities. They're putting dental offices in there. They're putting law offices. They're putting grocery stores in the bottom. When I lived in D.C., I actually watched this happen. A business went out, and in the bottom they put a grocery store, and on the top they put apartment complexes. Next door, same thing happened. They put a couple of I think it was a law office, a dental office. I'm trying to remember all the different. Above, they put apartment complexes and condos and stuff like that. And that's what they're taking these malls, and that's what they're doing. And go ahead.
Well, it's interesting that Carl Icahn is noted here in the article as another doomsdayer because he's shorting the malls. Mm-hmm. It's funny, and I read through this article, and if you realize what's going on and you wake up and you decide to short the malls because you notice they're not going to be there very much longer, you're a doomsdayer all of a sudden. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Real news.
And he not only him, but Bruce Richards, the chief executive of Marathon Asset Management, he has said he's betting against the malls.
It's just like Michael Burry did.
It's exactly what they said.
The movie, The Big Short.
Yep.
He shorted, but he was wrong for a long time. I mean, he had to eat crap for a while.
He did.
But when he was right, he was really right. That's why I often quote him as saying, be the broken clock. Assume broken clock status and just be right, a couple times a day. Or in this case,
So
one time
I'm
every 3
curious
years.
to know, what you see going on with your malls. Because if our malls, personally, they're dead. I mean, you go and there is very little. All the shops are pretty much moved out. Everything I see now is pretty much strip malls. And I'm curious to see what you guys are seeing. They're turning me into more of commercial spaces, more business spaces. I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they can turn that into something that's profitable.
We went to the mall in California, the big, huge one.
Yep.
And Dan allegedly, the economic ninja said it was dead.
Yep.
It was the least amount of people they've seen in there in a long time. I don't see how they're making it.
People shop online.
Can you imagine the carbon footprint that a mall puts out?
True.
Trying to heat and cool that ginormous area.
Yep.
And a lot of what happened to malls is people started to, after the pandemic, people started, it kind of redirected them to shop online, not really go. And have you ever kind of just not done something because of a certain reason, and then all of a sudden you don't do it anymore, you kind of get out of the habit? I think that's what happened to a lot of malls as well. And not to mention, people walking around with masks is kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree with you. And people, I think the people got they started shopping online. I think that was the big deal. And I think people like these outdoor shopping centers area a little bit better. It's more open. It's not enclosed as much. I don't know. It just seems to be the
Less
more
to heat
trend.
and cool.
Less to heat and cool. It's cheaper.
They'll be in your 15-minute city.
Yep, 15. And the rent, because I was talking to some people. This has been several years ago, but the rent in some of these mall spaces were astronomical. So they were going to these.
The outside areas are too.
No, they're not as much.
They're not as much.
As
really?
much. That's what they told me. They said,
I
so the
didn't see that
malls,
coming.
in the malls, and I was like, really? I was like, they said it was absolutely killing them. Now, it might have changed since then. This has been a couple of years since I've talked to them, and I'm sure it's the location. But anyway, that's just some of the stuff. The biggest thing I guess we had to take away was, hey, you guys, just check this out, because they're going to start we've already talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that was pretty much what we talked about, that they're going to start banning people's homes from using...
Yep, turning your gas off. Can't have it anymore.
Nope. Yep.
Just like that, behind closed doors, making decisions for you.
Yep.
I thought that was really wild. So, I want to get in and give some shout-outs here. Tell me if you're commenting for the first time. Somebody comment for the first time. Sandra Fish, pressure can as much meat as you can.
Oh, hi, Sandra. I just talked to her the other day. Hi.
I've never pressure canned meat, so I probably should. I'm going to freeze dry it, though. Grandma Bear. Mr. Ray. Nobody's a first-time commenter. V-Prep. Cool, man. Glad you're here. Yes, me. Joseph. First-time commenter. See, I got to get you guys in here because this is the best community on the planet. I'm telling you. She talks to these guys. I know a lot of them personally. And Joseph L., first time. See, somebody say hi to Joseph L. Make him feel like he's...
Hi, Joseph.
Make all these people... I'm serious. It's important to me because this is the biggest takeaway from this YouTube channel is you guys. The community is so important.
Yes.
It's unreal. And as we get into the Thunderdome, it's going to be even more important.
What he just said right there, I just want to interject 1 second.
Go
Sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. What he just said right there is so huge.
I might have missed a first timer.
So what I have learned from you guys is more powerful than anything I could get on the news. The information that you guys have provided to us and that we've been able to share to everyone else is the most powerful thing in the world. And so I appreciate it. And what I learned from you guys and what I learned from the comments, you guys will comment certain things.
Brenda Lander just commented.
Okay.
I gotta call him out. Brenda Landrum. Thank you. It's awesome. Give her a hug, somebody.
I love it. So that's what we learned from you guys. And I even had someone call in the other day that was talking to us, and they said what they had learned.
John Smith brought a freeze dryer. Hey, did you use my link? Because I don't think affiliate links work.
Probably don't.
They don't, I don't think. Hi, Brenda. First time to your channel, learning a great deal. That's awesome. We try to bring value in every single video, and it's amazing. Hey, if you guys have not seen the Wyoming gold and silver video, that is wild to see elected officials taking taxes in gold and silver. That is, and watching them think through it in real time. Yep. It was really eye-opening.
Yeah, and it was real. It wasn't we were doing anything. Hey, Jerry, I remember talking to you guys. Yep. But if you guys get in the comments, you learn so much. Somebody just said they learned a new side hustle based off of the comments.
David's a second-time commenter. See, he's getting in there. He's loosening up. It's free. It's free to comment. It's free to hit the like button, too. Absolutely free. It does help the video. It helps me.
Stacey,
and
what
it's
are
completely
you saying?
free.
What did they say, Stacey? I'm not sure. Sorry. Help me out.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. Do what? Stacey, what?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. We missed it. Said Stacey,
oh, yes,
what are you
that
saying?
Wyoming video blew me away. It did me, too. In Bastrop, they turned an old, unused strip center into a campus rose, and the mall in Austin, Texas turned it into a community college.
Huh. Interesting.
What's a campus rose?
Community college. I could see them doing that. I saw someone the other day. They took an old mall and they turned it into a church complex. So that was also another way that they did a church. But
thanks, John.
These malls are going away, it seems like. Anyway.
Well, thanks, David. White Buffalo's here, too. Grandma Bear, you guys are awesome. Did you have anything about
the only thing I
gold
have,
and silver
yeah,
stuff?
I can just tell you the latest we got right now. Is it closed right now? We're at $21.89 for silver.
Well, some people don't know, so wait a minute.
Okay.
Stacey sells precious metals for Miles Franklin. We do that because we have the best deals most of the time, and I encourage everybody to go somewhere else first. Legit. I expect you to get 2 bids and make Stacey your 3rd, and you could even get more. It's important to get it. Does not matter where you get it from. What matters is you get the best deal. I decided to be in the industry during the currency collapse. I want to be part of it. So that's why we're selling precious metals. Feel free to call that number. You can go ahead. Some people don't know, and I want to.
No, that's good. Yeah, some people don't know.
I want people to go somewhere else first if they can get it cheaper. I got involved with Miles Franklin because that's who we used, because they were the best deal.
Well, there's a lot of good companies out there, and I just went with Miles Franklin because I really like the fact that you could pick up the phone and call somebody. I wasn't just behind the screen just hitting a button for you, and so I like that. So yeah, you can call me at 318-564-5823 as you see the number back there. I do my best to try to get back to you same day, if not the next day. I will be working tomorrow, which is Saturday, but right now, so you know, the COMEX is closed, so we're at $21.89. We're at $1,000 for silver. We're at $1,846.90 for gold. That's our spot price. And then, of course, you have your premiums. The 2 deals we have right now are the Buffaloes are still $265 over. And then we have the Maples, the 2022s, are $3.45 over.
$265 over is pretty good.
It's very cheap, and they've been holding steady for that.
Buffaloes, $265. That's.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple other things we can work out and talk about pricing and what you want to look at and stuff like that. But and as he says, we're very clear. Go to other places. I will help you shop around. You don't have to buy from us. This is not the purpose of the YouTube channel. The purpose is we believe in it.
No, we weren't doing any of that when we started the YouTube channel.
No, we weren't. We were buying, though. We've been buying for years.
Yeah.
And
my grandfather got me into it.
It's just if you want it, we'll try to help you get the best we can. Anyway, that's it. We didn't even do a weekly update, so we're kind of behind the curve. We missed the Wednesday Night Live and the weekly update, but that's all right.
John Smith said he did buy from Miles Franklin. You're right.
I told you. I remembered. Hi.
Like a steel trap.
Nope.
She remembers everything.
I talk to you guys. I get to know you guys, and that's so cool.
Okay, guys. I'm so glad you're here. I really appreciate you. If you made it till the end, thank you is all I want to say. You don't have to hashtag nothing. I love all you guys. Thank you for being here. Get in the comments. It's so cool to see some first-timers in there. And really, I know it's strange to be in the metaverse and making friends on this YouTube, but this is actually a real thing, okay? These are real people that, for the most part, and I mean 99% of the time, have your best interest at heart. And the ones that don't, I delete them off the channel immediately. I do not do any of that. I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine. What's the fun in having friends you agree with all the time, you know? But if you're ugly and not here to help, I'll kick you off.
I disagree with him.
Yeah, it's fun. So, guys, have an awesome, awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later. Turn it off.
I don't know how you turn it off.
Later, guys.
There.